All right. We had some technical difficulties. Totally not my fault for sticking the phone in the sun. Totally not. It's definitely somebody. It's the sun god's fault. Who's the sun god? Horus?
That's one of them.
Is that?
Yeah, Apollo is another in the Greek tradition. There's many sun gods, but in Egyptian, Horus.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I knew something.
Yeah. you knew something.
Right on.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, we're just finishing up. You had just said once you behave better as a child, you can keep that item forever. Nobody can take it from you.
Right. Yeah. I think it's really important to instill this idea of understanding property, because liberty is an essential property of ours, right? So if we erode the idea of individual property, what we're really doing is eroding the idea of our individual liberties.
Yeah.
Okay? Because those are your properties, right? So not only like physical properties, like having your phone, your materialistic phone, right? But also like the property of which I exhibit through my behaviors, my expressions, my emotions, my thoughts, my consciousness, So whenever we do that, it enshrines what I would call moral relativism, which means that we can just make it up as we wish rather than observing in a scientific methodology what the consequences of those behaviors are, right? So as an example, let's go to government for a second.
All right.
For a time period, they had marijuana laws, which, from prohibition, which made marijuana illegal, right? It's still federally illegal, right? But by states now, they're starting to back off on it a little bit.
Ohio is one of them, actually.
Yeah, Ohio now is, and that's a good thing. But the thing is that now you can go to one state, right, and it's legal. And what legality is about is supposed to be a ethical justification for criminal behavior, right? So it's supposed to be based off an ethical code, which implies some kind of moral concept to justify being able to punish people in a society, right? Or to seek retribution or restitution for people who have been harmed, right? So when you can arbitrate that on the whims of like whatever you want, on your own perception of whatever it might be, you can have another state that says it's completely immoral, and now you can be punished for holding possession of a plant that grows in nature when you have not caused anybody any harm, right? You have not violated anybody. All you have is a plant, some material that you grew or just naturally grew from nature, right? And their justification for this is that it harms society, which we know it doesn't. In fact,
I'm hurting so bad because
yes, I'm hurting extremely bad because of it. So are you. So that's moral arbitration by the legal system, rather than like looking at the consequence, meaning what actually happened. When I smoke weed, am I harming somebody? Is there a victim? Things like this.
No victim, no crime.
Yes, no victim, no crime.
That's the easiest concept to understand.
Fuck parking meter maids.
Exactly.
Okay?
Like, who the hell are you hurting?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, as long as you're not trespassing on like somebody's property.
Yeah.
Right. So don't park in their driveway.
Yeah.
But in the city, it's like, come on, bro. Like this is an open. Yeah.
I saw a meme earlier. It's an older one, but it came back up, and I was like, oh yeah. It's a guy looking like confused, and he says, "Oh, I'm just looking at my paycheck and wondering how when the government worked half my shift."
Oh, right. Yeah. So that's part of the property issue, right? So as an anarchist, I believe in individual property, right?
Yeah.
And from there, I extend that where I can delegate my property to like my grandmother if I want to, or my friends and stuff like that, right? Meaning I can share it with other people, right? Because it's mine. And I didn't hurt anybody to get it, right? I didn't wrongfully acquire it. Well, taxation, right? The only way that you can get taxation is through coercive force. You don't get to choose where your tax money goes, right? And they arbitrarily choose the percentage of which they take from you, right? So what they're claiming is they claim to own a percentage of your product of labor. Where does that product of labor come from? It comes from your body, right?
Which should be yours.
Right, and that's yours. You create that from your body, right? Well, what's slavery? It's the claim of the production of your product of labor.
Yep.
What did we claim from, the African slaves, right? We claimed that what they did in the cotton fields was ours, their product of labor,
Yep.
right? So in an extension, we are claiming to own their body too. Taxation is a claim over your body. That's really what it is,
so
right?
taxation is slavery.
Yes, absolutely. That's the easiest way.
It's pretty easy to understand.
Yeah, on the most simple level, it's extortion. At the fundamental level, it is slavery.
I was like, when I tell people, I'm like, if you don't pay your taxes, like the government will kill you.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? No. I was like, stop paying your taxes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they'll just come and arrest me. All right, say no.
Yeah.
They'll fucking kill you.
This is something people don't understand is that whenever you're dealing with the agents of the state, it is always the potential of death.
Yeah.
Okay? Always. You're dealing with a person who is trained to defend every law, whether they're just or unjust, right? And if you rebel that law, they will lock you up. Well, first they'll fine you. If you don't pay those fines, they'll lock you up. If you resist being locked up rightfully, right, then they will put you down if they feel necessary or justified, right?
He was reaching for his pocket.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was an acorn.
Yeah.
It was an acorn. Right.
Oh
you saw that.
God.
I'm glad you knew
Yeah,
that.
yep. I know
it was
exactly
an
what
acorn. So, yeah, we have to be careful about that because I believe that property, as far as the way that I'm defining it, is extremely, extremely crucial to understanding liberty.
Yeah.
So if we can't get at least a simple understanding of it, which usually we do, some intuitive understanding of it, you know, like even as kids, we get it. We don't want the kid next door coming and taking our toys, you know, like those are our toys, right? So that's why corporations can be so dangerous at the collective level because they have a Marxist idea of shared property.
Yes.
And then they can buy up all the land property and then how far can you extend it? Air property, right? Water property. Can you own all the water on the planet and keep it from people and monopolize it, Well, no.
That's a good question because like what do you think about the Vanguards and BlackRocks of the world who just own so much shit?
Oh yeah.
It's like at what point what do we do? Just ignore them?
No, you don't ignore them. I'd say just education, and I think free markets kind of help with that.
Yeah.
But proper free markets, obviously.
Yeah.
Meaning
Truest
that
free market.
Yeah. I mean, your purchasing power is really important, but that purchasing power is determined on your, I'd say, education level, right? So what I mean is that the more you're informed about a business, the more likely or less likely you're going to support that business, right?
Yes.
And the more you're informed in general, right? So that's the main thing is taking purchasing power away from that. But the problem is with BlackRock is that they do a technique called compartmentalization where it's diffused and you don't know that this product and this product over here are literally owned by the same company, right?
Yeah.
So on the outskirts, it looks like you have a choice. It's the illusion of choice, but really it's owned by the same company. Oh, wait, that sounds familiar. That's left-right wing politics? Oh, wow.
The same bird, two different wings.
Wait. Oh, I get it. It's based off an old manipulation technique from a philosopher, George Hegel, who based his ideas off Plato, but criticized Plato, but it's called the Hegelian dialectic.
Okay,
is what it's called.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, and it's just the idea of there's two opposing, controlled opposition, and you're the one controlling both sides.
Yeah, so
and either
illusion
side
of
you
choice.
It ends up in the same slaughterhouse, right? And then problem, reaction, solution. Same thing. I create the problem, you react, and then I'm like, I have the solution for you. I got you.
Do you ever think about
you.
how much of that is going on right now?
Oh, yeah.
Especially there's an election coming up.
Yeah. It's constant. And we do it to ourselves sometimes, too.
Yeah.
So they don't even have to do it half the time nowadays because we'll create the problem.
Yeah, we're so good.
And then
we're
they're
good little trained puppies.
We know we have it. You'll come to us because we're your saviors.
Yeah.
We're government. We're your protectors.
They're locked in.
That's right. So what we're really in is I would say at the low level a psychological war of information, you know, and then at the highest level a spiritual war on consciousness, on your whatever you want to call it,
Yeah,
so,
it's I don't know. I think we're at a critical point right now where I think the next coming months or couple of years is really going to determine where we go from here. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think like we're in like a crucial moment right now.
I would say so.
I think a lot of people are coming to your point of view.
I think so
I think
too.
They're starting to realize.
Yeah, I think a lot more people are open to it. The corruption of authority throughout history is not so much being ignored as much as it used to be, right? Like, let's say the 50s and 60s, right? I do think that we're at a crucial point with understanding how to use the technology we have, because we're still in the infantile stages of understanding the internet.
Yeah.
You know, and we're still dealing with like information overload. You know, like how do I find reliable information? The validity of that, right? How can I prove that to myself? And a lot of people have a low bar for it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I just heard this must be true, and it feels right to me, you know. And it's like, well, let's set the bar a little higher so that we can at least, you know, be critical. Woo!
We're at Bowl Bash.
Yeah, be critical. That's a high bar.
Yeah, holy shit. That was a loud
that was
one.
a good one. That was a loud one. Yep, gotta be careful around here.
Oh yeah, you never know what could happen.
Yep, you never know.
But hey, I've I've been around a lot of fireworks here, and I haven't gotten hurt so far.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
But here's so I feel like I said, when I was 18, I became like politically aware, I guess.
Right.
And I was going down the anarchist path.
Right.
And it's so cool. I just went straight for that. I didn't even fuck with anything else. And then 2016 kind of shook everything up. I feel like, and Donald Trump saying the deep state, all that shit.
Yeah. Good buzzwords.
I think maybe send people like, oh, maybe there's some corruption going on. Do you think there's a Donald Trump to anarchist pipeline?
I think it's reverse, actually.
Really?
Yeah. So I think Donald Trump is a very, very good actor.
Yeah,
okay?
I think so
and
too.
he's a red herring. So there's this
red
thing.
herring.
That's right. Yeah. You got it. Good puns. Good one. So what I think he was placed in that position for specifically was to bring in people that are on the fringe, right? So, and I'll give you prime examples of this. The first thing is that in political science, there's a thing called the Overton window.
Yeah.
And it's how liberty shifts over time through politics, right? More free, less free, okay? And it's the view. The window is the view of that shifting. So what they always try to do, and you can see these cycles throughout history in politics, is they'll take freedom somewhere, and then they'll give you a little leadway somewhere else. But when they're eroding freedom incrementally, it's always more than what they're giving you, right? So they give you this illusion that you're getting something in return and that you're getting freedom back. Yeah. But then over here, they're like, oh, yeah, we got you on that one. So Donald Trump was really good at bringing in people who were anti, corporatism and establishment, and establishment is a better word for that, and anti-deep state, people who were like, maybe more questioning authority, questioning the nature of government and the state. But he's really good at bringing in people on that outskirts and swooping them back into the political arena. Yeah. Right? And so I watched anarchists that I've known for decades run to him as their savior. Yeah. Right? Run to them. Right? Just be like flocking to them. Yeah, it's and I was crazy. Like, what? Whoa, Yeah. But I get it because they're still in the mind have this idea that the
he's
state
helping somehow.
And if you use the right words, it's really easy to manipulate people.
And I'll be honest, I might have fell into that trap too back then.
Yeah.
And it didn't take very long for me to like, okay, all right, what the fuck am I doing here?
Right.
But it seems so compelling. So I totally get why they might have ran to it.
Right.
But then,
I do too. I totally
Then, common sense comes back after a while. Yeah. And you're like, oh, wait, I'm just being fucked again.
Right.
My ass hurts.
Yeah.
But they're still taking money from me.
So I like to say this to people, that we have the buzzword, the deep state, right?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe there is a deep state. I can't deny that. But my main focus is the state itself.
Yes.
Not just the deep state. It's the whole compartment of the state. It's the whole apparatus.
And that's what they ignored during all that.
That's right.
The state itself.
Yes. So the state itself, its whole modus operandi is to use coercive force to enforce their ideas, right? That's all they can do. They threaten you with violence to make you obey whatever policy they put out, whether it's just or unjust.
Exactly.
Right?
And they make you feel good, like, here, we threw you a bone.
Yeah.
You like that? Bend over.
A little conditioning there.
Yeah,
You know, training you like an animal.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially, like,
for sure.
And I always thought it was funny because, like, I'm a firearms guy. I love guns.
Oh, yeah.
And,
it's good to know
you
that.
know, any good anarchist should, right?
Yeah.
There's no definition, I don't think.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, yeah, Donald Trump would probably be good for guns. And a lot of people believe that.
Yeah.
And, do you know what happened under Donald Trump? The
I
fucking
do.
bump stock ban?
Yep.
What?
Yep. I saw an interview with him.
Obama didn't even do that shit, dog.
No. I saw an interview, or it wasn't an interview. It was like a video of him with a bunch of other politicians talking about what to do with guns. And he literally said, with the gun issue, and he said, just go take them. He said, go take them all. You can look it up online.
Dude.
You know, he literally said, just go take them before any kind of due process.
Diane Feinstein.
And the one guy said that, and you know, he was like, well, what about due process? He said, no, you don't need due process. Just go take them.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
So yeah, that's the kind of manipulation these people use. You know, it's very, very. They hold it close to the chest. You know?
They're really fucking good at it.
Yeah.
Too,
they're really, really good at
like,
it. So really good,
dude. Like, I think that's the one thing that you get to harp on the Second Amendment and stuff. Oh, it's to protect us from tyranny. I think it is. You know,
yeah,
it really is.
Yeah. Yep.
But I don't think anybody that's from the government is wanting to protect you.
No, not at all.
I don't think they see it that way.
No, of course they see it as a threat.
They want to get rid of them. They're just gonna like stroke you a little bit.
They
we
see
want
that
you to
as
keep
a threat.
Them. Exactly.
You know, they see that as a threat to their survival.
What is it? God created man. Samuel Colt made him equal.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's really good. That's funny.
But dude, I think everybody should have guns.
Oh yeah, I believe in
a good
decentralized militia. Every man, woman, and even children who are active, well maintained, and well trained with the devices should be there to defend their property and other people's property together, right? Cooperatively. So people always worry about anarchism with like military defense against foreign invaders. That's been solved a long time ago. You know, not only can you do it in the free markets, but you can do it yourself as well. Okay, if you have the technology and you have the means, as long as you don't turn into a standing army like the forefathers warned us about, which is what we have, you're good. So, I mean,
I like the decentralized.
Yeah, decentralize that. Yeah, and it's much more efficient that way too.
And you can still work together.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what it is. Me, my neighbor, the other neighbor, and all the neighbors around me are all armed, and somebody tries to come into our community and disrupt that community, we naturally will just get together and do what needs to be done.
Just like a
we
beehive.
Won't do that, though. That's right, just like a beehive. You got it. That's so. Yeah, you're on it. You're on it. But we don't even need to like work together. We just know what to do.
Exactly.
It's an instinct.
And it's like that ties back to morality. It's like
that's right.
It's almost instilled in us.
Yeah.
What's right and wrong.
Yes, and the one thing that I always say is self-defense is one of nature's oldest laws.
Yeah.
Self-preservation and self-defense.
Yep.
So you can't arbitrate that. Another thing with government, we can sway off this topic in a second.
No, it's fine. I love this shit. You can do it. Say whatever you want.
Okay. Well, they have the idea that the government gets its power from the people.
Yep.
Right. So the people give the government its power and the permission to do what it does. Right. Okay. Well, if you ask a politician, okay, do I have the right to tax my neighbor? Right. Do I have the right to take and tax, take his product of labor and tax him, right? Can I get together with other people in the community and tax them? They'll say no. They will say no. And then you say, well, how does the government have that power then? And they're like, oh, well, it was appointed to us by the people. We're the representatives of the people. And it's like, wait. You just told me I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't literally do that with a group or by myself onto my neighbor.
But you can?
But you can because I appointed it to you. So then I'm like, well, can I appoint my neighbor to do it to my other neighbor? And they're like, no, you can't do that.
Well, your
And
logic.
yeah. And it's like, so it's called delegation of wrongs is what it is.
Yeah.
So you can't delegate a wrong behavior to somebody. I can't come to you and morally justify you going to kill and steal from my neighbor and say, hey, go kill. I give you that power to do that rightfully. Now it's right because I've appointed it to you. Me and these guys over here, we have more numbers now, right?
Yep.
Now we have 3.
Hey.
Yeah, now we have 3, and we're like, hey, we have more power in numbers, so now you have more power because we've reinforced that power.
We're going to appoint you to go steal all that shit from that camp over there.
Yeah. So it doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
So you can't delegate wrongs, right? So my whole position is that I don't believe in no rules, right? I believe in some form of regulatory nature of moral activities, moral boundaries between each other, right? We all have boundaries, and that's good, right? As long as we set that in a cooperative and voluntary way that does not erode liberty, it's fine, right? That's good. I don't believe in no justice system. I believe in some form of justice, right? Because at some level, somebody's going to get hurt. Yeah. Somebody's going to make a wrongdoing, And
I think some people might be getting into this. They might want to know, like, well, how does that work? What do I do if I have a dispute?
Right. Well, that's why we have to take out the monopolization of justice, right? So there's a monopoly on justice by government, and as we decentralize that form of justice and we set up a methodology of, evidence and investigatory processes for that, which somewhat work, we can at least deal with the justice at that level,
Yeah.
So you can set up communities, you can set up councils if you want to together. A lot of people would just call that like a miniature government.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a government because you're not using coercion.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Coercion.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fucking kill you if you don't like what I want,
Yeah.
if you don't do what I tell you.
And, I mean, it's a difficult thing. There's a lot of questions that come up with anarchism, but I would say the main thing to understand is that it just means absence of slavery. And it doesn't mean there's no rules, doesn't mean there's no morals, anything like that. It just means volunteerism, and getting rid of slave masters.
Dude, I used to love the logo. Was it the yellow and black V? I love that.
Yeah.
I wanted to get that tattooed on me.
Yeah, that's a good one,
Should I do that? I don't know.
Do it. It's your body.
I like voluntary interactions.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be forced. In Latin, the word government comes from gubernare mens mentes, and gubernare means to control, like a governor on a car, right? It controls.
The speed.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then mens mentes is derived from the idea of mind. This is where we get mental from. So
mind control.
Right. So it's mind control. So, what is mind control? It's me forcing you to do what I want you to do. It is some kind of manipulatory influence and power over another individual to make them do what I want them to do.
Yeah.
And so, of course, that's what government is, because everything starts in the mind.
Yep.
Everything we make here starts in the mind, right? So we have to change our minds to change the result, With and I would say hearts too, but
I just wish. I hope people watching this can understand what we're talking about here and realize the world can be a better place.
Oh yes,
as long as the interactions are voluntary between each other. Stop
it's
fucking
not
forcing people to do shit.
Right.
Stop robbing my paycheck.
Yeah, fuck that.
Dude, it's like $1,000 every paycheck they steal from me.
Man. You know how much more wealthy you would be? So a lot of people are like, well, what about the social benefits from that, like taking care of old people or taking care of your roads? Well, guess what? They would be more productive because my roads aren't taken care of, first of all. Yeah. And if I can take the third party or fourth party out of the situation that's mediating the money exchange for my roads to be managed, and I can just get together with my community, and I'm more wealthy at that point because I have most of my money, and I need my roads to go to work, to go to school. I have an incentive to take care of them. Well, we can either fix it ourselves or we can hire the service providers ourselves to take care of it. And then the government, they don't get their cut. And they don't put it wherever the fuck they put it, which
the government takes their part. It's like, you don't even question it. Well, they got to take their part. They worked that fucking shit.
And they charge out the ass. Don't forget that, So for their service.
Think how cool it'd be. It's like, dude, our fucking community has the best roads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
That's a sense of pride. You know?
I see anarchists like all around the world that go out and patch holes now.
Really?
In the roads, because it's always such a common phrase.
Yeah.
Like, well, what about the roads? It's like, okay, what about? First of all, let's just break that down. First thing is, why are you so obsessed with roads that you're willing to be a slave? First thing. Okay, I don't understand that you're more worried about roads than your enslavement of your children and your family and yourself. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Second thing is, well, you don't think we have an incentive to take care of them. What the fuck are you talking about? You're idiots.
Well, what if it doesn't work? It's not working right now.
Yeah, it doesn't work now. What are you talking about?
What do you got to fucking lose?
Well, what if it's chaos? You're living in chaos.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
This is chaos.
Look at all the wars we
Yeah.
have. Like, why not try something new? It's not really new anyways, but it's like, why not try something that seems to be more optimal for our co-experience?
We have nothing to fucking lose and everything to gain. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You ever see that meme? It's Night of the Living Dead, but they changed it to Night of the Living Statists.
No.
And they're going, roads.
What?
The zombies.
That's great.
Roads.
That's so funny, because I made a slide one time for one of my presentations, and it was based off the idea of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Right? And I saw another guy do it first, who was one of my peers. And so I'm not trying to take credit for it, first of all. But it's like, those are the people we got to get to. The Walking Dead, right?
Yep.
So those are the ones we have to resurrect. And it's like, fuck, you know? Like, can I just smash their head?
Yeah.
No, you got to bring them back.
Use a crossbow.
Yeah, you got to bring them back. So it's really cool. This has been great, man.
Dude, yeah, thank you for sitting down for so long.
Of
It
course.
flew by, and like I could sit here and talk to you forever, dude.
Yeah, we can do another one in the future.
Dude,
next year.
next year.
Yeah.
Or even sooner, who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
I'll come back down here.
I'm down.
That or if you're ever up in my neck of the woods, you can come to the studio.
Yeah.
That'd be
dude,
really cool.
I would love to do that.
That's also my house.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
But dude, I live out in the middle of nowhere. I got a shooting range. It's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude, it'd be awesome.
That's cool.
This is fucking Brandon Martin. Learn about him. Or I hope he just did learn about him.
Yeah.
But dude, this has been awesome. And I hear the band starting up at the Lula Bowl.
Yeah.
It's Bowl Bash Friday night. Bowl Bash 2024. 29. Bowl Bash 29.
Yeah, number 29.
And it's hot as fuck out here.
We're sweating.
Yeah. Just sitting here. If you turn your head too fast, you'll start sweating.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy
dude,
hot.
Thank you so much for
Of
coming
course.
here, dude.
Yeah.
Or I came to you. We're in the full pipe right now.
Yeah, right? Yep.
But dude, it's been the jam without Dan, but with Brock, because Dan's sucking on a chili dog.
Oh, man, sucking on the chili dog. I saw some chili dogs walking around.
Oh, shit, is there?
Yeah, and some costumes.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a unicorn come down the hill earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't
That's
think they were real,
hilarious.
but they are.
They are real.
Anything can happen here at
Yeah,
Skatopia.
you'll find the cryptids at Skatopia.
Yeah, Bigfoot's around here somewhere.
Yep.
Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care. Brandon Martin, look him up.
Thank you.